Okay, I've got to stand on a stepladder with an owl and my phone and a microphone. The reason I've got my phone, I normally speak spontaneously, but I actually feel incredibly emotional today. When George Monbiot stood up in front of the Extinction Rebellion a couple of weeks ago in London, he talked about working for 33 years trying to raise awareness of the natural world. And I too have worked my entire life on the TV, in the media, writing books, giving talks about the extinction of wildlife. When I sat down as an undergraduate zoologist to write my final exams, I wrote a sentence: African lions, Panthera leo, population 125,000 animals. The population of African lions today is 25,000 animals. I might cry at this point. I work with, I run Herefordshire Wildlife Rescue. I work every day with wildlife in Herefordshire and I'm confronted by the issues that face wildlife here, our local wildlife. Lily, could you bring Phyllis over? This is my daughter Lily.
Oh, thank you.
Not the owl.
Sorry.
The girl is my daughter. The owl is Phyllis. She is a captive bred owl that works in education, going into schools in Herefordshire, talking about issues facing these owls. There are 3,000 barn owls in Britain and 68 million people. We can't get any more barn owls because every single barn owl that attempts to be recruited into the population is killed on our roads. Barn owls cannot live within 25 kilometres of an A road because they fly slow and low over our roads and get killed at some point. So their numbers cannot increase. That's only one of the issues facing them, but we know the solution. The solution is to plant trees all along our roads, and then the owls perch in the trees and fly over the roads with more awareness of the cars. When we plant trees along our roads, we also slow the cars down. It has a natural effect, and the drivers are de-stressed. So that's a win-win. But like lots of environmental problems, we know the solutions, but we don't seem to be putting them into action. We have some hedgehogs here. Salvi? We're going to have some hedgehogs going around the crowd in a moment. These are rescued hedgehogs from Herefordshire. They will be released in the spring. Hedgehogs are insectivores. German research has shown that we've reduced the insect fauna in Europe by 82% over around 30 years. Okay, so if you're wondering why hedgehogs are in decline and why loads of our farmland birds are in decline, that's probably why. I don't know if any of you remember when I was a child in the 70s, when you drove around in your car, after a while the windscreen got covered in flies. You had to clean them off. That doesn't happen anymore because there aren't many flies left. Okay, and without that ecological basis, we simply cannot have the other animals like Owler here. I haven't introduced Owler, have I? This is Owler. She is a rescued owl. I was given a licence by DEFRA to work with her in education. She goes into schools and talks about the need for big trees. These owls need large trees. They always prefer to nest in oak trees. She's a tawny owl. So I just want to say that I am overjoyed to see everyone here, and I keep sort of breaking down into tears whenever I read about this process, this extinction rebellion that we have started. It seems massively overdue. Remember that governments are lobbied intensely by pharmaceutical industry, by the plastics industry, by petroleum, by agrochemical businesses. So we have to shout really loud because these people have a lot of money. I wrote an article for The Guardian 15 years ago about plastic bags ending up in our seas. We knew then what the solution was to that, and it's only just come in that we now have to finally pay 5p for our plastic bag, which has reduced their use by 85%. We know the solutions to these problems. We are a brilliant species. The reason that we are so good at destroying the planet is because we're so clever. We are so brilliant at solving our own problems. You know, if we have something, a worm eating our a slug eating our potatoes, we know how to kill it. We also know the solution to this mass environmental apocalypse, this ecological apocalypse, as Chris Packham calls it. We know what the answer is, and now we're here to put it into action. So thank you all very much for being here. It's the only civilised thing that we can do is fight for natural world. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha and her amazing birds and hedgehogs. They're around here somewhere. Don't tread on them.